Welcome back to Leelee's Delivery Service, the portal where magic meets purpose and every delivery is divine. I'm your cosmic courier, and today we're going to be unpacking a cultural storm. Okay? I'm not tearing anybody down, but I'm going to shine light on how microaggressions and coded language are weaponized against black women, even from global icons like Taylor Swift. So tap in, take a seat, and let's get some healing done. All right. So, of course, we are back. I had to hop on here because after Taylor Swift dropped that album, there has been not only a lot of backlash from her fans, but backlash in the black community because Homegirl took a couple of shots at us. I mean, bold, but not careful. Because, honey, you think I'm going to let you say the things that you said and I'm not going to come up here and defend my black women? Please. Anyway, so if you've been living under a rock, Taylor Swift recently released a new album where in the first 24 hours she did sell 2.7 million copies. I mean, that's normal for Taylor Swift, right? However, the issue with this album is that she had a whole lot of microaggressions in it, a whole lot of dog whistles. I mean, sis was showing her cards, her insecurity cards. She was showing a lot of displaced anger, and I called it all, okay? Just like y'all called it all, because on social media has been tearing that girl up, okay? And I am here to not tear her up even more, but I am here to set the record straight, talk about microaggressions and the myth of the disposable black woman, okay? Internalized misogyny, and I'm going to uplift our black women because, of course, love is always the ritual. So, no matter how much negative energy is going to be put out into the world, I am here to bring peace, balance, and positive energy back into your orbit. So, like we said, Taylor Swift just released this album. There's a whole lot of backlash online. And we also know that usually Taylor Swift releases albums after she goes through a breakup, okay? Her whole musicology, or whatever you call it, her whole music catalog is based on her relationships, whether good, bad, indifferent, and basically making money off of it. I mean, it's nothing new. We've all seen heartbreak turn into art, music, healing through pain. We know all that, okay? However, that's not what this album was, okay? Not from her fans, not from anybody. So basically, everybody knows she's engaged. Taylor Swift is engaged to Travis Kelce, the NFL football player who used to be in a relationship with Kayla Nicole, who is a black woman. However, once Kayla Nicole actually ended the relationship with Travis Kelce, and then Travis Kelce got with Taylor Swift, all of a sudden there was a huge public fixation on his past relationships, and especially Kayla Nicole. We all know that Kayla Nicole was notoriously attacked by Taylor Swift's fans, whether it was online. We know how this goes, due to the fact that she used to be in a relationship with him. And to me, it was almost like the world was trying to humble Kayla Nicole, even though she was the one that ended it with Travis Kelce. So that in and of itself is an issue. But we continue to press on. She continued to get jobs, and she's still out here. She's beautiful. Nothing's gonna stop her. However, now this album has dropped. It's bringing it all back up again. Okay. So this isn't about gossip. It's about the message behind Taylor's music. The hidden narrative. That's the topic we're going into now, which is the disposable black woman trope. God, I hate that trope. It's been used and overused. It's such low hanging fruit. But for educational purposes, the disposable black woman trope is when black women are seen as fun, exotic, or temporary, but never wife material. And I'll put that in quotations, the heaviest of quotations, because that's not true. That's just the trope that they try to put out there, but we've seen it. We've seen it in movies. We've seen it in art. We see it at strip clubs. We see it at any any event, right? Where people are surprised that either someone is married to a black woman or they stayed with a black woman even after they became successful. Like, people end up surprised because the stereotype in the narrative is that after you become successful or after you reach a certain level in life, you got to leave the fun alone, the exoticism alone. You got to leave your roots behind. Now, keep that in mind. I'm going to come back to that. But continuing on, this message has existed in Hollywood, sports, and pop culture for as long as it's been around. I mean, Travis Kelce's dating history in and of itself is an example of how white audiences project their insecurities onto black women and black people in general. Because what in the hell does Travis's ex-girlfriend from years ago have to do with your album in 2025? Taylor didn't talk about going to meet Travis's mom, to meet his family, the daggone dog. She didn't talk about holding him close at night. She didn't talk about making sure that she dedicated herself to him so that she took the weight of the world off of his back. No. She literally said, I'm not a bad bitch and I'm not a savage, but I'll take care of you. What? Who said you had to be a savage? Who said you had to be a bad bitch? And then a bad bitch to everybody is described differently. Everyone has their own interpretation of what a bad bitch is. Meaning, I think I'm a bad bitch. I mean, I might not be showing my boobs and my butt and all this stuff out here, but I got a master's degree and I know what I'm talking about. And I'm a good person. I try to teach and uplift people, and I try to heal. I try to laugh. That's what makes me a bad bitch, right? So whatever Taylor's going through, I really need her to sit on somebody's couch and figure it out. But don't start throwing shots over here, because we're going to shoot back. Not shoot, but you know what I mean. What I mean. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. Anyway, continuing. I thought this was funny. This was a funny conversation that I came across on Threads. It was very insightful because it was white women talking about Taylor's new album. And I just want to read y'all a quick little quote. She says, "It's very telling to me that many white women, even progressive ones, ignore yet another instant of Taylor Swift's anti-blackness while claiming they needed this album because joy is resistance." I'm going to let y'all sit with that for a minute. Joy is resistance? Does that resistance have to do with you bringing up your boyfriend's ex or your fiance's exes when you have the ring? When you should be wedding planning? When you should be, setting up your estates, moving your properties, and figuring out what that legality of your marriage will be? But you're obsessed over your new man's exes. Is that not low frequency? I'm just saying. If you had all that money in the bank, right? If you could go anywhere in the world, right? You can buy anything in the world this second. Are you worried about your new fiance's exes at all? A normal person would say no, because you have elevated. You have things to do. But this signifies that Taylor Swift ain't got nothing to write about. She ain't got nothing to talk about. The lady is out of touch. She's a privileged, mediocre white woman. Of course she don't got nothing else to write about besides her man, who may or may not marry her. Whatever. Anyway, she took her shots first. I'm just punching back. You throw the first punch, I'm gonna punch back. And especially as an Aries, you started it, I'm gonna finish it. But in a nice, healing, collective, but very real way. Anyway, the power of microaggressions. Y'all, I am so tired of educating people on microaggressions because it almost seems like now this should be common sense. There's been so many examples. There's been classes on this. Literally You can go to college and have full classes on microaggressions. So the fact that people still don't know this kind of bothers me. However, I'm in an educating mood. So here we go. So, what is a microaggression? It is a subtle, often unintentional statement, action that reinforce biases and stereotypes. So, for example, from Taylor's lyrics, they feel racially coded and very dismissive towards black women. The whole opalite and onyx thing, especially as a crystal collector, baby, that beat me off. Like, ooh, ooh, ooh. You want to use black and white crystals? Ooh, 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 ooh. And then talking about wanting to have a whole neighborhood of kids that look like Travis. Yes, it's fine. Of course, you would want a whole tribe of kids that look like your man, but the entire neighborhood, the fireman, the store clerk, the retail associate, the daggone policeman, what is happening? What in the Arkansas is happening? And no offense to my Arkansas people if you are not on Taylor Swift's, frequency, but y'all know what I mean, because that there's an all white town in Arkansas that's trying to. Never mind. We're gonna stay on topic. So, also, the mental gymnastics that some of Taylor's fans are doing to try to justify her lyrics and justify this album is downright idiocracy, and their silence is complicity. So I want y'all to know that. I want you to actually challenge those people who say that they are Taylor Swifties and ask them, what do they think? Where is this coming from? What do they think was the purpose of this album? Because it definitely wasn't to make anybody happy. But anyway, we need to stop being ashamed to bring certain things up and let losers write the narrative. Shout out to Cat Williams. We are not going to let this woman tell us what we are, who we are, how we are viewed in other people's eyes. I don't give a crap about stereotypes and biases. I'm talking about facts. I go off facts and what people show me, what I can see, what I can hear, what I can feel, not what someone tells me about another person. And then also, all these dog whistles in pop culture. Honey, I hear all of them. So, to define what a dog whistle is, it is language that sounds harmless but carries coded meaning to a specific audience. To connect this to Taylor's All American Love theme and how she subtly erases black femininity by, like I said, saying, I'm not a savage, I'm not a bad bitch, but I'll take care of you. Like, why do the two correlate? And then, of course, y'all know the only people calling anybody a savage is Savage Fenty, Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, you could have said, I'm no Vanessa Carlton, I'm no Amy Winehouse, I'm no Adele, I'm no Christina Aguilera, I'm no Shakira, I'm no. She could have said anything. Out of all the words that are in the dictionary, out of all the languages that we have, y'all, it was intentional. And that's what I want y'all to pay attention to. That's a dog whistle. It is not, oh, I wasn't just thinking. No, nobody puts that much money into a Taylor Swift album without thoroughly going through those lyrics, the tracks, the sounds, everything. It was intentional. And she's going to hear from us. I'm not sorry. She's going to hear from us. And she's not just writing love songs. She's writing propaganda that recenters whiteness and purity as worthiness. That old trope. And it's not true. She wanted to put herself on a pedestal by punching down on us. On a whole population of people. And she think we weren't going to say nothing back? That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway. Oh my God. And let's talk about her internalized misogyny and her male-centered validation. I'm sorry. Y'all know what it is. Taylor's music constantly orbits around male attention. From heartbreaks to revenge songs. That lady literally is not thinking about anything but men or how my man think about me, how I look to him, how I viewed. Girl, it's ridiculous. But it worked for her, right? She found her niche. Not mad at that. But for someone who claims to be a feminist, her art rarely passes the Bechdel test, okay? Rarely. And this internalized misogyny makes women compete instead of connect with each other. That's also another trope. They constantly put us against each other for the sake of obtaining a man, because they've always put it out there that there's more women on the planet than men. So obviously, you got to fight for what you want. However, we now realize that every woman is not heterosexual. So then that, obviously, in and of itself, changes the narrative. But also, every woman is not thinking about getting married. Every woman is not thinking about attaching herself to someone else. Every woman does not put her value in her relationship status, which is a great thing, by the way. So if that's you, shout out to you, okay? Be yourself for yourself until someone is worthy of you sharing your space. But for Taylor has always pretended to be a feminist, always pretended to be a girl's girl or the girl next door, and she's none of it. She's never been any of that. That is called, what is that? When they create a image of you for entertainment, it's a mask. That's her mask that she's created and curated over the years and perfected almost to a T. Until this. Well, actually, not even until this. Even a couple years ago when she was going through that lawsuit with that one man. I don't even remember. But one of her best friends is freaking Blake Lively. Now, y'all know anything about Blake Lively, then you will understand what I'm trying to say right now. Taylor has never been a girl's girl. Blake Lively is never a girl's girl. They are the mean girls. They are those women that think, oh, because I have money, I have power, I have privilege. You see me here, you see me there. I'm important. I'm important. But at night, I promise you, that's not the way she feels about herself. Because if it was, why do you got to focus on so many things that are obsolete to you, that are small, insignificant? Like, if you're a queen, are you really worried about the ants on the ground? Or are you worried about somebody picking it up for you? I ain't got time for this. Either way. Excuse me, y'all. I had to hop on here because she really made me mad. And I'm already starting to sweat. So I'm going to turn my fan on. So if y'all hear some little static and stuff, that's probably why. But, girl, she done wore me. She done riled me up, y'all. She done riled me up. However, so with Taylor's internalized misogyny, of course, she's over here always competing with women about men. Even though she has access to tons of men in Hollywood and the music industry, I'm pretty sure people just DM her all the time. But yet, anyway, whatever. I just want you all to know that when you're truly free, you don't have to prove your worth through a man or through tearing other women down. Your worth is valued on other expenses. Stop with this superficial, materialistic stuff. It is driving y'all crazy, especially Taylor. Anyway, now, the feminist mask and white fragility. Oof. I know I was going to talk about that. I already said that she's not a girl's girl. That is just a branding technique to try to connect to the women whose man she's probably ultimately stealing anyway. Shout out to Ariana Grande. But feminism that doesn't include black women is not feminism. It's strictly performative. It's strictly performative. And also, we already know her friendship circle. Like, it doesn't reflect what is it called? A diverse crew. Her crew with Gigi Hadid, Blake Lively, it is very much representative of a safe white curated image. Skinny, blonde, blue eyes. I'm surprised that Jean girl that was in, I don't know, that girl from Euphoria ain't in their friend group. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, like I said, this is not even to tear her down, but to very much so bring to light what she has put forth. Every time an artist or someone puts something out, it's not always going to be met with positive reception. That's the entire point. We are people, we are the consumers, and we have the right to say and not dictate, but really analyze what these artists put out here. And even though I'm not a Swiftie, she was talking to us. I'm a black woman, so I'm talking back. You want to throw the first punch? She threw the first punch through her lyrics, and now wants protection from accountability. And you're not going to get that here. I'm sorry, you're not. You're going to get the accountability that you should have gotten when you were in second grade, kindergarten, a newborn, all the way up until whatever age you are now. And I also want to talk about the psychology of projecting. Using a cognitive behavioral therapy framing, when someone feels insecure, they project their fears outward. They start fights, start incidents, bring up things that have nothing to do with the topic at hand. And Taylor's not just mad at black women. She's mad that she'll never be them. She'll never be us. What does that have to do with us? Because you talk anyway. I'm gonna stay on the positive. That has nothing to do with us. Okay? The fact that she wants to be something that she's not. Sorry, everybody on this planet has experienced wanting to be or have or do something that they haven't or never had the opportunity to do, say, be. But she has the power to project it in a way that is nasty, that is vile, and that is dirty. And I'm not here for that. I'm not going to stand for it. So I am here to reaffirm you that projection is not reflection. What someone says about you reveals their wounds and not your worth. So please, 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 please remember that. Now, media bias and the blueprint. Let's be honest. Black women are the blueprint. We've always been the blueprint. We are the ingredients. Hell, we're the entire kitchen. The world copies our hairstyles, our slang, our sound, even down to our strength, to our resistance, our resilience. So of course, why wouldn't you be envious? But either way, there's a way to keep it cute. And Taylor's not keeping it cute at all. Taylor's mediocrity has been rewarded by a system built to uplift whiteness and suppress our brilliance. So please remember that. When you see people out here who don't seem like they deserve the wealth or the accomplishments for their lackluster talent or whatever, right? Always remember that sometimes they may have people pushing them. They may have a whole system in place to put them in the forefront. But if they do not resonate with you, they don't resonate. And that's okay. Let them be a rising star that burns out just as quickly. Lean into your own understanding. Lean into your own gut. Because this isn't jealousy. It's analysis. Taylor Swift benefits from the same system that punishes us for existing loudly. It's just what it is. White supremacy is a real thing. It continues to happen. However, we now have social media. We now have our own platforms. We now have our own ability to share and report on news to where we don't have to listen to white supremacists change the narrative or create stereotypes or biases about us. We can pull up, we can show up, and we can be seen in all of our authenticity, right? So Taylor's gonna learn today. She messed with the wrong people. So I'm here to tell y'all, we're gonna reclaim the narrative, right? we're not going to internalize her lyrics at all. They're microaggressions. They're not truth. They're triggers. And I admit, yeah, she triggered me because it's the same stuff that they use over and over to try to drill in our head that we're not good enough, and that is a fucking lie. We are good enough. Y'all see these affirmations that I have up at the top is because I wanted them to be in your mind at all times. You are the blueprint. You are divine. That's supposed to say you are not disposable, but y'all know, you know how AI is. You are not disposable. You are worth it. You do deserve love. You are no one's second choice. You are desirable. You are deserving. And you are the blueprint. So, those were just a few of the affirmations that I wanted to give you. But when a white woman weaponizes her victimhood, remember, that's her shield. But that's not your story. So don't accept it as such. So, the call to consciousness, because that's what we're all here for. We'll talk about what we don't like, we'll talk about triggers, and we'll talk about all the things. But at the end of the day, we're always going to come back to a place of healing. So remember, we can't stay silent when anti-black narratives circulate in pop culture. We just can't. We can't afford it anymore. We don't have to. It doesn't change anything when we let people with anti-black narratives and rhetoric circulate in pop culture. And addressing it isn't hate at all. It is accountability. Something that they're not used to having, but they're going to get used to it because I'm not stopping. And y'all shouldn't stop. And I'm here to encourage you to talk about it respectfully. Educate your circles. And to hold artists responsible for any harm that they cause. Because that's not what we're paying them to do. I'm not paying an artist to trigger me. I'm not paying an artist to trigger my friends and my family and the people that I love and hold dear. That's not what you're supposed to put music out for. That's not what art is supposed to do. As a therapist, we take a vow and an oath to do no harm. And I strongly suggest artists, whether they're actors, musicians, whatever, to make the same oath. Because is that what you want? You want to put this negativity out there? And if you don't, change it before you wreck yourself. Anyway, closing. And to close, because like I said, I'm going to keep y'all for a good time, not a long time, because I know y'all got stuff to do, even though y'all know I could talk about this stuff all day. To every black woman watching this is for you. You are love in motion. When they imitate us, criticize us, or try to erase us, it's because they can't become us. Your power is sacred. Your beauty is the universe's favorite rhythm. Love yourself fiercely. Speak truth gently. And remember, love is the ritual. So until next time, I love you all. Remember, take care of yourself, take care of other people. Take breaks when you need to. And remember, you are the sauce. Until next time, this is Leelee's Delivery Service, and love is the ritual.